Hi, I'm Mike Fine, and in this video I'm going to walk you through the Tone Matrix project within Audio Tool. So I've already entered the studio, and I've actually already entered a tone matrix with some various patterns to make this video tutorial a little bit more efficient. If you're starting from scratch, you probably just see these devices in here. No need to get into what those are currently, but over here you'll see is my tone matrix. If I just click and drag this on in, it creates a new tone matrix, so you'll be doing that. I'm going to select this. Sometimes you have to click like a little weirdly, and you'll see this like outline around it. So if you ever create a device and want to remove it, you just select that device and hit the delete key. That gets rid of it. So let's move over to my tone matrix here. I've made a base pattern here in the bottom area of tone matrix. I'm going to hit play. You can hear that cycling. Okay, so then I've gone to my second pattern, which is right here, and I went back and forth between pattern 1 and 2 to get that same base pattern into there. And then I added in something in the alto area. Okay, now I've added a third one. Here's my soprano track. Okay, and so now I want to get those patterns into this grid area at the bottom so I can have them play automatically. You could hit the record button and turn on your patterns when you want them, but I'm going to show you a different way. I'm going to go down to my tone matrix, and I'm going to right click or control click, and I'm going to bring up the pattern track. Let me do that one more time. I'm right on the word tone matrix. I right click and I select pattern track. Then I'm going to double click in my timeline, and you'll see it shows up with the pattern that I'm currently on, which is pattern C. But if I control click or right click that, I can switch pattern to my A pattern. Okay, and I'm going to stretch that so it stops at bar 5. So I'm going to have 4 bars of that pattern. Then I just double click here again, and I'm going to switch the pattern to pattern B and stretch it. I'm going to double click here. It's already on C, and I'll stretch it. Double click here, stretch it, and switch it to pattern B. Stretch this and switch that to pattern A. All right, so as this plays, it will slowly layer the patterns, and it'll get more complex as it goes. Let's take a little bit of a listen. So you'll see, even though we're displaying this, it knows which pattern to play down here. Now here's pattern B. It actually switched up there. It should switch again to pattern C, I believe, here. And then back to the simpler pattern, and it would continue on from there. Now, a couple things you may notice is as you start entering in those patterns, you may need to use this zoom box to either click and drag to move around your gridded area, or you can grab the edge of this to zoom in on the gridded area or zoom out. Now, I'm going to zoom way out, and I'm going to grab this dot right here, and I'm going to pull that dot a lot closer. When we publish this file, if you have that dot way to the right, it's going to publish a whole bunch of excess silence, and you just don't want that. I could put this right at the very end, but I like to make sure I move it out just a little bit in case there's any echo or delay, to let that the end or the audio tail of that sound that's playing kind of die out naturally. So I'm going to pull it to bar 23, about 2 bars after the end of this pattern. Okay, and I'm going to get that. Actually, let's zoom that. There we go. Okay, so we can see our whole thing there. Now, as we go, I have the auto save on. I'm not exactly sure how I turn that on, but I click save once and it's been auto saving, so I'm not too worried about losing my work. I have actually already published this completed track, but I'm going to republish it, which is something you may do anytime you publish something and then make some changes. So I'm going to hit republish. I'm not changing anything, so I'll hit republish. If it's your first time publishing, you can make sure it has a title There's a few other options, and then you can hit publish. I'm going to hit republish now. Sometimes this takes a little longer, but that was pretty quick. All right, so now it's published, it's out on the web. To access it, I have to click my profile image in the upper left corner. It opens up my user page. And then I make sure I'm on tracks, which it already is, and I see my exported file. Now if I click play, it will play down at the bottom. And you'll hear it switches patterns just like it's supposed to. Okay, so that worked great. But to be able to share this link, I played around with this a good bit. The share button right here kind of only gives you these options, and that's not going to work for us. Of course, you could email it to me, but I think the best way to share these files is to click the actual name of the file right here, which in my case is Tone Matrix Composition number 3. It takes me to the page for that track, and then I'll just select the URL at the top, and I can just open this in a different tab. If I paste that in, in this tab I'm not logged in to my Audio Tool account, and it'll look just like this. So you can see an image of what the Audio Tool desktop looks like, and then the whoever's listening to the file can just hit play, and it plays right down at the bottom.